I'm stepping on Dilly. I didn't realize that. Sorry. Emra, Cookin, Scotty, Mr. Saxophone. Come on, Restream chat. Come on, let's make this happen. Sea Sky. I should be able to see all your chat. But
you used to rule me. I won't let you fool me. 'Cause I'm finally knowing there's nothing.
Guppy 223. This is from my album Good Woman. It's called Mr. Fear. I wrote this when I was terrified. Hello, Kansas. This is my album.
You got those eyes,
It's all about fear.
creeping up
It's my first
my
album,
spine
the vintage.
with your lying whispers. You do your best to mess
Hey,
with
Sidley.
my mind, but now I'm tired of
Tammy Thrasher.
behind your threatening veil. 'Cause I'm
No problemo.
bound for glory. Say
Everything, Guppy. I was scared of everything. Check out this vibraphone solo. Yeah, Mr. Saxophone, a bit dated, but check out the vibes. Come on. Tim Griff, sing to I Am. I gave you a shout out yesterday, sing.
you got those eyes.
This is the spirit of fear. Creeping up and down my spine with your lying whispers. Come on.
Your best to mess with my mind, but now I'm tired of hiding.
I was so tired of being afraid.
Behind your
I wrote a jazz song, but I was still terrified.
I'm bound for glory. You say I'll never make it, but I know I will. Got to get on with it. I don't have long, and there's so much to do. The show must go on. Gonna make it. No hesitating.
Yay,
No
sing.
time for waiting. You
You used to rule me, fear.
now won't let you fool me. 'Cause I'm finally knowing
There's nothing I'm owing to you. Ichthyius Jazz. No, I didn't, Mr. Saxophone, but I'd love to know more about it. Awesome. All right. So I stepped on Dilly. I don't usually do that because he's bigger than me. But here we are. So I guess I have the people I was meant to have. Did I ever tell you the story about my dog? So like we tried to have the perfect, bestest dog ever. And I was not a pet person. I don't know that I really am, although I have a dog that we love. And so we got a dog consultant to help us pick the best dog. And we got this special Grosser Schweizer Sennenhund, wound up the neediest woman in the neediest female in the bunch. So we got this dog, and bless her heart, she wound up being kind of mental, like needed constant. It was a working dog. When somebody says it's a working dog, it means must have attention at all times or will go crazy. And also strongest will dog in the pack. Anyway, and I called the trainer one day just with tearing my hair out. The dog ate 11 river rocks, this big, around. Had to have surgery from here to here. and the vet handed me pet insurance and said, "Lady, any dog that'll eat 11 river rocks will eat anything. You're going to need this." So that's just a little indication. Dog's name was Zoe. I called the trainer and I said, "Trainer, help me. I don't know what to do. I mean, I think we made a mistake." And she said, "Well, I just believe, hey, Lisa, I just believe everyone gets the dog they were meant to have. And I went, oh no. We're not going to turn this into something about the universe. We're not going to turn this into a universal, vibe. There's a problem here. And I had spent so much time working and training with this dog. Anyway, one day, we finally gave her away. And then I walked in to my husband and I said, honey, I think we have the dog we were meant to have. After I gave the dog away. No. Anyway, so I think I have the audience I was meant to have. I think that whether I'm tweeted or we tweet or untweeted or whatever, you guys are here with me. You are the audience I was meant to have today. And I know we're live on YouTube and on Facebook as well as Periscope and Twitter. And I should have chat for Restream so that I can see you guys, because I noticed there's some comments coming in on the Facebook stuff, but it's not showing up for me. So I'm sorry. Hey, Juliet. But in any event, you might want to get that album, Julie Lavender, Good Woman. It's vintage, but oh so good. It has my song for the Sower on it. And today I just kind of want to rev you up a little bit. I want to help you get focused, because here's a brain hack for you. You know how we're moving forward into taking back brain wiring, into taking back parts of our soul that have been damaged, right? And we're taking back memories and bringing them under the authority of the King of Kings and interacting with him. We're taking back regions of our soul that we just laid down and let the enemy walk all over us, because fear is such an all-encompassing thing, isn't it? And I was just looking back at the questions I get when people join my Fear Free Life Facebook group. And so often it's this mystified idea of like, why can't it just be better? Why can't I just not feel this? I'm still dealing with this at 72. Shouldn't it just be over? And will it ever go away? Can I just ever be all right again? And my friends, that's that passive Jesus juice prayer where we just want him to make our feelings change. And the whole point of a Fear Free Life is to take back what was stolen from you in the soul arena, right? In the relationship. Hey, Larry, I stepped on Dilly. I'm glad you made it over, Marcy. I didn't realize he was still yapping, as much as I love him. In any event, the key to the fear-free life is to take back what was stolen by fear. And that, by its very nature, is a warlike process. We have to have a warlike posture. Thank you for the shares. A warlike posture, just like our president does, where we accept nothing less than the negotiated surrender of our enemies, in essence. And we have to negotiate on a daily basis the surrender of our fear-filled thoughts, don't we? And so it's not about just somebody making you feel better and somebody coming along and sprinkling Jesus fairy juice and dust all over you so you feel comforted. Fear-free living is a warlike posture against things that assault you and expect you to lay down. See, when you get assaulted and attacked, the spirit of fear just expects you to lay down and go with it, because that's how it works. Fear functions to keep you safe when your body experiences that, right? So you have three choices. Freeze, which winds up a lot of times just being us withdrawing into fragments of our soul, right? Run, which a lot of us have spent a long time doing, or duke it out. So as long as you're going to experience fear, choose the duke it out method. Choose the I'm going after this thing method. And one more bite at the apple, one more layer of fear, one more, Tammy, 10 feet under the bridge. Come on, 10 feet. Come on, you can do it. Take a friend and go for a walk under a bridge and stand there for 10 minutes and just let God heal you. Get in the car under somebody's bridge somewhere and sit in the car under the bridge worshiping God. One moment at a time, 1 inch at a time. This is how we won in World War II, right? And so the thing that for us is that if we don't establish the turf and if we don't negotiate surrender, like the surrender of our thoughts and our attitudes and our patterns, then we're basically just going to empower the fear. And that's how it works. And I don't like it, and nobody likes it. We don't like it. We don't like the conflict. We don't ever want to deal with it. But as I asked on my Facebook group, what is some of the best advice you ever got? And one of my Facebook friends said, it was when you said, suck it up, buttercup, toughen up, buttercup. This is the fight. This is the fight to overcome fear. Fear-free living is not for wimps. It's for people who choose to be courageous and let that be the atmosphere out of which we work. And we choose it while we're terrified. We choose it while we're uncomfortable. We choose it when we feel intimidated. We choose it when we'd rather stay home and put our heads under the pillow. We choose it. We choose it again and again and again and again until things begin to change, till we begin to realize, oh my gosh, now I know who I am. I never was. My identity never was that poor whipped puppy. My identity never was that failure. My identity never was that person who can't get on an airplane or confront a problem or tell an abuser to knock it off. That was never my identity. That was what I learned to believe and assent to. That's what I surrendered to. That's what I gave my power to. And so now the day-to-day thing with fear is getting fear to negotiate. It's surrender to you. And I want to tell you that every day it involves the brain hack of your first conscious action. The quicker you can get out of a place of entitled passivity and get to it is how quickly you're going to own your day. As quickly as you shift those relationships and come down for coffee in the morning or matcha tea or whatever, and let the people around you know you own the territory in your love, in your boundaries, in your relationships. If you're serving with dignity. If you're serving and speaking, you're doing your strength and kindness, but you're establishing how you will be treated and how you will treat others and what you will allow and what you won't allow. Our problem is, and this is where we can really get off, this is just sort of a hot tip today, is that you can have had a fabulous breakthrough the night before or a wonderful day, and there's something about going to sleep. Have you noticed this? There's something about going to sleep that you wake up and it's like maybe God's not there because you just woke up. You know, I mean, I'm not saying he's distant. I mean, I feel close to the Lord, but there's this something like, wait, all I did was sleep and we were on good terms before I went to bed. It was a good day. So why is the cloud wanting to settle again? Why is the anxiety kicking up? Why are things beginning to bug me and I'm starting to feel a little bit gloomy or depressed? Well, I don't know exactly all the neurological reasons, but I do know this. And I learned this from somebody who said that when you're beginning to change and when you have a specific thing you're changing about your patterns, your activities, your thoughts, and you set the goal and you say, okay, alarm clock goes off at 6:30 or whatever. And how about this one? This is interior design.
Woke up just this morning.
For my album, Interior Design. I don't know, just kind of liked it. If you do not, because your body falls into self-preservation mode and it's going to go with the oldest patterns and the oldest wiring that you have, which is where the deepest wounds are. The first wounds wind up having the deepest impact. The first time we ever experience rejection, those early rejections, those most powerful ones, or even maybe they came along late in your life and you got your first big slap in the face, those tend to make, for some reason, the biggest imprint in our wiring, and they tend to define us. So you go to sleep and you relax and you get passive, and the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is we tend to come into this, well, I'm not ready for anything yet, don't bother me. I'm not ready. I need to just go and sit like a lump. I need to go and have 3 hours of quiet time. I'm entitled to be passive because I just woke up. And what's happening in the brain is when you go to change and when you go to control and conquer fear and defeat it, you're going against the deepest part of your body and its oldest oldest expression of what's always been the norm. And if you don't immediately get up and deal with the issue, you will get a whole list of reasons why you can't, or you won't, or it won't work for you. It's how the brain works. It's conserving energy. And so we have this entitled passivity about certain things. And I just want to tell you that the longer we wait in any given day to go, no, 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 I'm up, back off. The longer we wait, the more we step into the old wiring programs, and then we begin to go back into some, if you struggle with the blues a little bit, or the depression, or the anxiety, or the feeling of lack of safety, like what'll happen for me is something happens, it kind of shakes me up a bit. I wake up at 3 a.m, scanning the perimeter for, marauding invaders to see if I'm okay. And if I wake up and I sort of feel like, dang, I didn't sleep good, or this is how it is, I feel kind of entitled to just be utterly passive until the caffeine kicks in, or until I wake up, or until I've had this or that, or done my little rituals and all these things. But I just want you to know that as a brain hack, the longer you wait to activate and put on your law enforcement badge and tell your day how it's going to go, and tell your thoughts how they're going to go, and tell the enemy how it's going to go, and negotiate the surrender for all of the things coming against you, the harder it will be, and the longer you will spend in the morning kind of noodling in the anxiety, noodling in the fear. Passivity never pays. And if you want to start out with a bang, hack your brain first thing. Good morning, Lord. Thank you that I win everywhere I go. Thank you that I am your child. Thank you that I am safe and nothing can move me off the reality of my safety in you. Good morning, world. Good morning, enemy. I just want you to know you're defeated and you're not getting any space in my brain, between my ears, or in my day. Good morning, everyone. I'm awake now. Somebody gave me a word and they said, just last week, and said she had a vision of me, and she said I was a pistol packing mama, and she saw me in the spirit as a two-fisted shooter. I could shoot both with right and left. I was like, well, that's really fun. But if they're in the holster and you feel entitled to just be passive because whatever your mood is changed by your sleep, or your sense of, oh, just leave me alone, can't someone else? You can do that. But the longer we wait in any given day to express the authority and to forcefully negotiate the surrender of the ideas that are going through our head, and the atmospheres that are coming after us, and the way we're handling our relationships, the more we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. So the pattern is, for brain hack, is if you are wanting to make a change, like for example getting up to go to the gym, when the alarm goes off, the more quickly you get up to go, the more momentum you will have, and the more your brain will shift over to the new wiring. So when we get up, the more quickly we say, feet to the ground, we're moving in authority, the more quickly your brain will support you, the more quickly the spiritual atmosphere is going to go, oh, she's not playing today. She's not messing around. He's not letting this happen. Our problem is we think that even in the light of a lot of progress in our lives, that we should just kind of let it go. Like a day off. Let's just have a day off. Well, when you're dealing with fear and anxiety, we should never really have a day off mentality. We should always have a squish it, crunch, squish mentality, and we can move from there into rest. Have you noticed that? When you have established authority and you've established order and you've stopped being passive and you've let the atmosphere know, let the enemy know, let your relationships know what the boundary is, that you're not going to just sit there and have, again, this entitled wussy passivity. The quicker you've established that, more quickly you can move into rest. And I can move into rest, because you and I both know that when we're passive and something's niggling at us and anxiety's building up and scenarios are going through our head and old stuff's coming up because we went to sleep and it's the oldest wiring and something just kind of lit it off again. the more quickly it's going to just go in. It's just going to kind of sparks up in us. And so then if we think, well, I'll just sit here for, 30, 40 minutes and have my coffee before I deal with any of that stuff, you actually find, rest is not passivity. That's exactly right. You actually find that your coffee time or your quiet wake up time may not be all that peaceful because the subtext is going along. So brain hack, the more quickly we can get ourselves really in the habit of enforcing the territory and taking that control, using those declarations, getting up into movement, getting up into some kind of risk as quickly as possible, you're going to find that things are going to shift. The more we embrace that as quickly and as easily and as activated. So just like some of us really feel like we can never do anything without the cup of joe, we should have that same kind of kofefe activation related to anything around us that wants to take us into anxiety, fear, panic, depression, this kind of thing. The longer you wait, the less you're going to actually step into rest. Just a little tip today. I was thinking about it. Plus, I got to tell you, I went to the store in town, just a little fun thing. And the guy looked at me and said, I know you. I've seen you in here before. I remember you. And I said, that's probably because I talked to you about Jesus, right? And he goes, yeah, you did. He goes, yeah, you did. I said, yeah. He said, I love your energy. And I said, well, Jesus, in him, by him, all things are created. So who has the best energy in the world? I mean, he created the earth, didn't he? And he told us to go out and rule and reign. I said, I used to be terrified. I used to not want to talk to anybody. And I had all this church stuff where we hid in our church because the devil was so bad. And he's like, yeah. And I said, but why would you want to follow a God like that? Why don't we heal the sick? And I gave him a healing testimony. He said, why don't we cleanse some lepers? And why don't we do some stuff? I mean, why would you get out of bed to do anything else? And then I said, and why don't you come to our table? He said, well, I just love it. He said, please come back in. He said, my mom was here last time when you were here. And I said, yeah, that's really awesome. I said goodbye. I said, I will be back in. And then I got to the car and I felt like the Lord said, invite him to your table. Invite him to your table. I went back in. I said, hey, why don't you come and hang out with some Christians? Or we're really talking about this stuff. Come to our table, have a glass of wine, maybe a cigar with my husband. We'll get to the heart of this. You can come with all your questions and your answers. And I said, let's find out more about this God thing. And I said, it's no big agenda, but you are going to be with Christians. We're going to talk about this stuff. Hey, what do you think? And he's like, oh, okay. So he's like texting me and he said, it's going to be kind of hard because I work 2 jobs. I said, guys, I never did this. I never thought like this. I never set myself up to be on the winning end of a risk. I was always avoiding the risk because I was sure I was going to get my clock cleaned. And this morning I felt it just as much as some of you might have. You might have totally felt like, I don't know what I did. I had a pretty good day yesterday, or Jesus was on the throne yesterday, and now I woke up and I got the thing and I need the deal. And it's not enough just to listen to somebody's Periscope. That's good. It's not enough just to put on your worship music and do whatever you do. You need to pull out your spiritual law enforcement activations and decree and declare and go right at the heart of that niggling thought that is making you so uncomfortable and stealing rest from you. Today it was for me. No one moves me off of absolute security, even if they're mad at me. No one can change the core security and safety I have in God. That is unchanged and untouched by anyone's opinion or anyone's activity. Whew, can feel it. Can you say that? No one or nothing can change the core security I have with God. No one can change that. No one can shift me off of the depth of the peace and security I have in my Father's love. Go right to the heart of it. Go right to the heart of your niggling, anxious thought. Tell it to go back to hell and forcefully negotiate its surrender. The more quickly you do it in any given day, the better you're going to feel. All right, I have a couple of thoughts for you guys. First of all,
when I hear your
great album. This is my album Interior Design. I need to play more cuts from this for you guys. Guys, two things. One is go to CoreyFeldman.net. He's going to do his, on March 9th, I think it is, March 8th or 9th, Corey Feldman is doing the live stream one time of his documentary about pedophilia in Hollywood and how it affected him and Corey Haim. So go to Corey Feldman, CoreyFeldman.net. $20 gets you into this once in a lifetime showing of his documentary. This guy has paid a price. That's right, exactly, Deanna. And so let's support him. And CoreyFeldman.net, and get a ticket to the live stream. Even if it's too much for you to watch, support this guy. The other thing of it is, check out this flute part. This is my album Interior Design. So I am going to start releasing Presence Jazz videos this Saturday, I hope. I hope you'll help me retweet them like 7, 8 o'clock at night. I'm going to put out a sneak peek of one of the live videos we recorded down here, and do the sneak peeks every Saturday night with a little chat from me and a video, and then I will give you the full set every few weeks, okay, of the music that we've recorded and worked on. So that's going to be Saturday, and hopefully I'll get some nice tweets and chows. All right, you guys. Go! Therefore, trample on serpents and scorpions. Do something that scares you. Look it right in the face and say, no, you do not get my day. You don't get my peace. You don't get my security, no matter what you say.